everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Nadia and I decided to make this beautiful large hobo bag which I found on Etsy, and I'm gonna put the link in description box. So let's just do it. So once you print out the pattern, tape it together and cut it out, you're gonna have piece. This is for the strap, for the top. You're gonna have this other piece. This is for the inner pocket. Then you're gonna have this big piece and instructions. So that's what we have. We have 3 pattern pieces in all and instructions. I am going to be using this linen fabric as the outer fabric, and I'm going to be using this one for the lining. Don't forget to mark those foldings according to the pattern. You can see all the way on the bottom. So like I said, you need 2 outer pieces of the main fabric, and 2 linings, and do same thing, foldings according to the pattern. So before we start sewing, I am going to overlock all the pieces to make sure it's not going to fold apart. If you don't have an overlock, you can use a zigzag on the edges to make sure it's not falling apart. Okay, so everything is overlocked. Now before we do the markings, we have to make in a pocket. So take the material for the inner pocket, and we have to fold it like a 1/2 inch, press it, and then fold again 1/2 inch and press it again. And then we can top stitch. We're going to top stitch right around the edge. Okay, the top part of the pocket is done. Now if you have any labels, now is the time to put them on. I'm gonna sew it on this side because this one big pocket is gonna be 2 smaller pockets. We're gonna sew it in the middle. So I'm gonna put the label here. All right, now I put on my label. It's a little crooked, but it's okay. Well, now it's time to make the edges of the pocket. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna flip it over and you're gonna press like 1/2 inch each side toward the middle, toward the inside. Do the same thing here. And same thing on the bottom. Half an inch. About a 1/2 inch. Once you press all the edges of the pocket, sorry. Once you press the edges of the pocket, we're gonna attach it to the lining. So you have to find the middle of the lining. Just fold it on the middle, press it, and you have a line right here, and then you still have the middle of the back of the pocket. So we are going to measure 3 inches, about 3 inches from the top. Mark it here, and then we're going to line it up we're going to line it up and pin it to the lining. And then we're going to top stitch all around besides the top. We'll leave the top open, of course. We're going to top stitch these 3 sides. And now we are going to make 2 pockets from this one big one. Like I mentioned before, we're just going to top stitch right in the middle. So now we can do the foldings. You're going to take one folding further from the middle and you're going to pull it toward the other and pin it together. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other one. There's the next one. I'm going to get this and pull it toward the other so they can touch together and clip it together. Do the other side same way. You're going to take this marking toward the other one, and then the next one toward the other one too. And we're gonna do all 4 pieces, 2 linings and 2 outer fabric, and just stitch it, top stitch right by the edge so they can hold together. Now you're gonna pin 2 outer linings right sides together, and also the lining right sides together, means the pocket is inside. So you're going to pin them together and stitch them together. Besides, you're going to leave 6 inches opening on the side of lining. So this way we can flip it over once that's done. So again, face them together, right sides together, and stitch all the bottom here too, and leave 6 inches opening. Now we're gonna press the seams open. You just open the seams and press them all around. All around both lining and the main fabric. Okay, here are the foldings. Once the one side is done, you're just gonna flip it over on the other side and do the same thing on the other side. Very simple. So do lining and the main fabric, both. Next step, we are going to flip the lining right side out, or the inside, however you want to say it, and we're going to push it into the back, into the main fabric, which we're going to leave it the way it is. Okay, we are going to match the seams. Okay, put it together. Just make sure it fits properly, nicely open. Just do the other side. Shake it a little bit. So we are going to pin together both sides, this side and this side, with the pins. And sew it together. So now we're just gonna stitch it together, those sides, two sides. Now we're gonna press the seams again. Press the seams open. And we are going to actually take those two handle parts and iron them in half so you can see the line. Once we open this, we are going to put one of the parts on the inside, the right sides together. All three gonna have the right sides together, the lining, the outer fabric, and the handle, the all right sides together. So we're gonna put the part, find the middle, and pin them together. Once we do both handles on one side only, on right side. Actually, the instructions said something different, but I found it harder to do it. I found different way to do this, the handles, because once we have to flip it over, it's gonna be harder with the handles. So we're gonna do it this way again. So we're gonna face the all right sides together, pin them together, and stitch it again. So it's gonna look like this. One side has the handles. So this is how it looks like once we sew these two handles on one side. Next step is we're gonna sew these two middle rounds together. So we're gonna use the pins. We're gonna start, actually, you can start on this side. You're gonna leave like 4 inches opening on this side. So it's gonna be easier to sew this part on. So I'll just start 4 inches here. And we'll continue all around up to the seam here. We can cross a little further through the seam up to here. So all around both sides. Now we're gonna open the seams again. We're gonna press it open. At the same time, we're gonna press seams on the handles. They're not sewn yet, but it's gonna be easier to sew them together, both sides. Time to flip it over. So we have to flip it over through the hole we left in lining. So slowly we're gonna flip this inside out. All right. So that's how it looks like right now. First thing, what are we gonna do? We have to close the hole in lining. Gonna top stitch this. And then you're gonna push this inside. And press all the edges nice and sharp, straight. Now when the edges are nice pressed, we have to attach these handles. The way to attach it, very simple. You're gonna put these two together. Open it up and pin them together. You do the same thing with this one, and we'll stitch them together. Next step is that we're gonna close the handles. So we're gonna fold this seam on top of each other, pin them, or you can use clips, wonder clips, or whatever works for you. So I pinned one side. You can do the same thing with the other handle, and we're just gonna top stitch all around both sides. You can do both inside and outside as well. And ta-da! Here it is. Beautiful hobo bag. It's a pretty decent, big size actually. Let me see if I can see. It's a big hobo bag. I love it. And I actually made 2 of those for myself and for somebody else. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I'll see you next time. Bye!